Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 2 in a best of 5 series between Raz and RiseN. Game 2 taking place in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Raz spawned at the south side of the map as the blue Protoss player. Meanwhile, RiseN spawned on the north side of the map as the green Protoss player. So this will be Protoss versus Protoss once again. Protoss mirror matches here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Now the Xel'Naga Caverns is one of those maps where it opens up for a lot of cheese play, and especially in a Protoss mirror match, I suspect there may be some sort of proxy play. Proxy play is very strong as there are plenty of places to try to hide buildings and hide gateways. So there is this area behind this brush over here, then there is this area over here to the side where you can hide a proxy pylon and warp in units, and it will be outside of the range of a Xel'Naga watchtower. You now see RiseN moving out, first checking to make sure that there is no proxy pylon in his base as he begins to scout, and now once again moving over here to scout out and make sure there are no proxy pylons as well. So RiseN now noticing that there are no proxy pylons, also doing a good job checking the brush, as now Raz is playing a standard safe game. If RiseN had decided to try to proxy him, I think Raz would have been on the losing end of this fight. RiseN does have a 1-game lead in this best of 5 series, as now Raz moves in with this one probe, and the probe now starting to zap away. So Peppy the probe trying to take down this pylon most likely will not be able to, as now RiseN moves out with this probe as well. So this probe will be able to see a pretty standard build coming in from Raz. Raz most likely will be getting a gateway, warping in an assimilator in just a moment, as that is the standard build that most Protoss players use about 80% of the time. However, Raz did go for a dual gateway opening last time, so he may be going for another dual gate, and in fact he does. So Raz now opening up with a 2-gate opening. Actually, no, I don't think Raz opened up with the 2-gate last time. I think he opened up with the 1-gate and the Cybernetics core, and RiseN opened up with the 2-gate. However, RiseN now opening up with 2-gate and also getting an assimilator. So this is more of a response to his opponent. RiseN realizing that because his opponent went for a 2-gate, he also needs to go for a 2-gate in order to make sure that there are no additional, or he does not fall behind in that Zealot army fight. So Raz now getting some an extra additional pylons, because you must always construct additional pylons. As this probe moves out and now going to be able to pull away, we do see a gas block by Raz. So Raz using this assimilator, which has 900 hit points, so that assimilator will be placed there and deny gas for quite some time. The Protoss assimilator is the only building that naturally has 900 hit points, so it takes quite a while in order to try to take it down. Back over here, we do see the gateway now, and RiseN currently supply locked. So currently supply locked, and that will throw him behind for quite some time. You can already see him sitting on 300 minerals this early in the game, and that really is a shame. RiseN needs to throw an additional pylon in just a moment. He's also not training probes. There we go. So RiseN a little bit sloppy in this matchup. We do see now that Raz is getting the Cybernetics core. Raz did not move out early with these early Zealots, so these Zealots are just currently sitting here. Now we see that RiseN going into a 4-gate strategy, so it will be a Cybernetics core researching that warp gate and into a 4-gate push. One Zealot now trying to take down the Zealot over here. A Zealot now with his twin brother. I don't know why all Zealots look exactly the same. They are different Protoss, but that's true for every single unit in StarCraft 2. As Raz now gonna lose this assimilator, but this assimilator already denying gas for quite some time, so he knows that RiseN will be very, very Zealot heavy and maybe have some Stalkers as well. Back over here, RiseN now secretly placing down one pylon, so this pylon here will be able to warp in units. I'm surprised that RiseN didn't put it behind the brush, and then when he needs to, just stick that probe's head out of this brush here and then warp in the units on that side. Now once again we do see Zealots and a Stalker moving out. 2 Zealots now making their way down the field. The Cybernetics core going to be completed in just a second, and now warp in, or now be able to upgrade all of these into warp gate. Zealots now going to engage here, so that's going to be a little bit of a distraction here, as 2 Zealots trying to fight back against 3 Zealots and a Stalker, and apparently these Zealots do not know that there is strength in numbers, and now this one Zealot trying to run all the way home saying wee. Okay, now this RiseN Zealot now just trying to run back. Will he be able to get there in time? RiseN, however, not getting the sentry, and I think that was going to be an issue because he didn't get a sentry in this location. However, he is pushing in with Zealots of his own down here, so Zealots now making their way into the mineral line here, and now it has taken down 1 or 2 probes already. All the minerals no longer mining, however, once again engaging here. So RiseN now trying to move out with these Stalkers. This one Stalker being very nicely microed, so this one Stalker taking all that damage as that back Stalker is there, and now another Zealot being warped in here. So very nicely done by RiseN, as RiseN was able to deal some economic damage, get all of the probes that were on gas here. So Roz is no longer only mining from one gas, and now more zealots perhaps going to be warped in just a second. These zealots know that something is up. He needs to find that proxy pylon. However, more units being warped in once again here. So Roz next to this Xel'Naga watchtower as these units once again move out. This one zealot, however, not realizing strength in numbers once again, will be forced to pull back. Will the zealot be able to engage? So now just trying to exchange blows. RiseN taking an actual 1 point of damage past those shields. So that zealot going now try to return home. As now we see some zealots here. So zealots now going to try to pincer Roz. So Roz now fighting a war on two fronts. Will it be able to work as Roz continues to move in and out of this position? This one probe over here will get taken down, and now Roz going to lose his proxy pylon. Once again, we do have force fields in this position, so very nicely done by Roz. Roz throwing down 2 force fields and placing them in a very, very nice position, enabling him to protect his expansion, or protect his main base. Army-wise, you see that Roz is slightly smaller in the army count, 725 versus 1100 from RiseN, but Roz trying to continue to produce more and more units. Looking at the harvesting and the mineral count, 660 versus 760 here, as both sides currently supply lock. Once again, you see RiseN now throwing down or placing a pylon here. Stalker's now shooting up onto that high ground. Down goes a zealot. Down goes some more of these zealots once again, as these fights going to go ahead and push back and forth. Down goes another zealot here. There is a force field here, however, so RiseN will not be able to engage. I do not know why Roz is trying to engage on this ramp. He shouldn't engage here at this particular time, but Roz now just continuing to fight here. There are some zealots in his base, however, so those zealots were able to warp in onto this high side, so that's why he's engaging. And now, as zealots start making their way into that mineral patch, blue versus green, as these fights continue, Roz continuing to fight back here. Roz able to get some reinforcements. However, there are RiseN with this one pylon here, able to warp in units as well. So probes now coming off the mineral line. Roz now just continuing to fight. Will he be able to continue to mine? No. RiseN will be able to take this game. Oh, Roz warping in units. Never mind. Warping in units right here to try to protect those probes once again. However, Roz finally concedes defeat and says GG. So Roz losing game 2 in this best of 5 series, so he is in the whole game 2 so far. We now know that there is this pylon here, very, very well placed by RiseN, enabling him to warp in units along this very, very narrow cliff right here as soon as he got sight. So even though there were force fields protecting this expansion, because one unit was able to see into this position, he was able to finish warping in more units and eventually put a lot of pressure, take down these probes. So Roz now behind with a 2-0 deficit. Stay tuned for game 3 in this best of 5 matchup.